the Margaretta Lady Polar Bears taking on the Colonel Crawford Lady Eagles in the Division III Shelby District Semifinal. And it's streaming to you live and free on your smartphone, TV, tablet, or computer. And it all comes to you next.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more.
Somebody else.
Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skoronsky, and you were just watching live and free Girls High School Hoops exclusively on the OH Report. But stick around, the halftime show is next, including stats, analysis, and so much more, including the second half on the way.
Nervous? Oh, Blaze. Brings back so many good memories. Remember our road trip in '97? Our first real heart-to-heart.
I've never seen any of your movies. Not even the ones we're in together.
Hey, do you remember when that stalker kidnapped us?
Yes.
Blaze was there.
Blaze.
Do you have barbecue?
Or cheddar jalapeno?
Ooh.
Oh, remember when we stumbled into that turf war? Remember when you bought your first house?
Hi, I'm Seth.
Those were good times. They were golden. You ready?
Seth, do you?
I do.
And Janet, do you?
That's a yes.
I love this lady. Best day of my life. It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more.
Somebody else.
Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby High School. Storm Blunchley, as per usual, joined by the illustrious Garrett Parlett. Garrett, double trouble here tonight at Shelby. We got a back-to-back game, the first of those two being, of course, Margaretta taking on Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, both teams victorious, obviously, in the sectional final. Cutting down the nets were both squads. Colonel Crawford beat Huron 45-38, pulling off the upset, and then Margaretta was also able to get a win and cut down the net, Storm. So both teams coming in here with the hot hand, but Margaretta looking to flex their muscles, as it's going to be a tough matchup.
Definitely, as you see, Margaretta coming in at the 8th seed, Colonel Crawford coming in as the 7th seed. But let's take a deeper dive into our Colonel Crawford Lady Eagles. Head coach Kyle Fenner finished his year, or excuse me, rocky year for him, losing the last 4 of 6 Garrett's, but they've kind of hit a hot stretch here recently.
Well, coming into tournament play, as a lot of teams mentioned, and that's kind of a driving force at the end of the year, is even if you had a rocky year, a slow start to the season, you can go on and upset a team, and that's what they did against Huron. And then they struggled against top competition. They lost to Cressy earlier this year, and they lost to Upper twice, who was in the Northern 10 Conference. One of those clubs will play for a district title. That's in the next game. So if Colonel Crawford was able to pull that off, they got to play one of those squads. They had the underdog mentality storm the last time out against Huron on Monday. They beat the Tigers of Huron 45-38.
Let's take a look now at our keys to victory for the Colonel Crawford Eagle. Box out and make someone other than Leibacher beat you. For Margaretta, Leibacher has been one of those special talents this year. We've had a few of them, but Colonel Crawford, you're not going to completely stop her. You just need, you just got to find someone else and make them beat you.
Well, especially with Eisenhower Storm. I talked to Margaretta's head coach a little bit earlier today, and he said that Eisenhower might have some hard time coming into tonight's game. She got injured in the last one, so she's their second leading scorer. So it's going to be Leibacher who's going to have to get it done for Margaretta. And Colonel Crawford, you got to force it out her hand and make maybe the third option for Margaretta Beach. Obviously, box out. Margaretta is one of the leading teams in the area with rebounding. I believe they get about 32 a game. And their best player, Kaylin Reisner, averaging almost 17 points a game.
Going to take a second now to listen to our national anthem. Stepping back into the booth now, let's move right along and talk about the Margaretta Lady Polar Bears, their team spotlight. Garrett, this Margaretta team just seems like they're always in great contention.
Yeah, Storm, they've been great the past couple of years and ended last year on that 5-game winning streak. Head coach Eric Kokendorfer, they beat Cary on Monday in the sectional semifinal. Score about 55 points per game. They only allow 41, so they get it done on offense and defensively. Excellent rebounding team, Storm. I alluded to that a little bit earlier. They get about 32 boards a game, and they force about 12 turnovers. They get a bunch of steals and get fast break opportunities, so if Colonel Crawford wants any chance to win, they got to slow down on the turnovers.
Let's take a look now at our keys to victory for the Margaretta Polar Bears. Crash the glass and play like a polar bear, Garrett. They always have such a winning tradition out there in Margaretta. Definitely just want to step in, play their game. Don't want to play down to Colonel Crawford's level or anyone's level for that matter. Just play their brand of basketball.
Flex their muscles. They're a one-seed Storm for a reason. They've been getting it done all year long. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Divine Eisenhower, coach, talked to me, dealing with that nagging ankle injury. So is she going to be able to persevere? He told me she probably would not start tonight. It would be somebody else. But she might be able to step into the game later and get some points. But it's going to be how they can handle that without their second-best player on the squad.
And both of these teams playing for an opportunity to play the winner of Crestview versus Upper Sandusky. That game coming up right after this one, Garrett. No matter who wins this one tonight, whoever wins the next one as well, it is not going to be an easy matchup for any four of these teams.
No, and as we mentioned, if Colonel Crawford was able to pull off the upset here as a 7th seed, they had to take on Crestview, a team that they lost to earlier in the year, and then a team in Upper Sandusky that they lost both games to. So Colonel Crawford, if they were able to win this, they struggled against both teams, but they're at least familiar opponents. And for Margaretta, they've been getting it done all year. They haven't struggled against many teams, especially outside of their conference. They're undefeated at 9-0. They struggled outside where they typically play bigger schools, the kind of powerhouse that they are. They've been getting it done all year long. So they got to like their chances throughout the entire tournament, and that's why they're 1 seed.
Definitely, and being a 1 seed, that's nothing to scoff at. That means that you seriously put in the hours in the off season. You are dedicated to your craft. Being a 1 seed, I mean, that is difficult, especially with how stacked some of these teams have been this year. We have seen a lot of excellent talent, both boys and girls.
Yeah, Storm and Margaretta, such a dominant force up there in the Sandusky Bay Division, getting it done all year long, and they've leaned heavy on Kylie Leibach, and she leads the team with 15 6.5 points per game, 11 rebounds, a couple blocks, and a couple steals. So she does it all. She's going to be the floor general here for the Polar Bears.
Tip-off here just moments away. Goes in favor of the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Maybe should have been a backcourt violation. Not sure about that one, but McKibben has it, swings it over to the left side where Plesak has it. Now back into the hands of Rensar. Back to Plesak. Dribbles to her left. Weithman finds an opening and passes home the three-pointers for the first points of the night for either squad.
And that's what they need right there. Allison Weithman, the sophomore, able to step outside, Storm, knock down the triple, and start fast here for the Lady Eagles.
Edward has it, swings it over to Miller now for Margaretta on their first offensive possession. Palamo uncorks a three. That one no good. Offensive rebound. Margaretta converts down low on the putback opportunity.
I mentioned a little bit earlier, Storm, that's what they love to do. They love to get down low and get those second chance opportunities, and right there, now the press is going to ensue, but Crawford able to beat it.
4-on-3 fast break for the Eagles. They decide to bring it back out. Rensar has it, feeds it down low. No good. Offensive rebound for the Colonel Crawford Eagles. They reset back to Rensar. Triple team coming on her. She decides to reset things back up to the top. Three-point try now for the Eagles. That one falls, and back-to-back three-pointers for the Colonel Crawford Eagles.
Not only for the Eagles, Storm, but for Allison Weithman, able to step back and knock down her second triple. And what a start here, Storm, for the Lady Eagles. A nice move there from Leibacher and dump-off pass. Going to get tipped out of bounds. It'll remain with the Polar Bears.
No foul there called, but a lot of contact down low. Nonetheless, Margaretta will take things out of bounds. Edwards has it, floats it over the top. Leibacher waiting for it. She decides to take a step back three. No good. Another offensive rebound for the Polar Bears. Palamo now swings it over to Miller. She picks up her dribble. Back to Palamo. Takes a screen. Leibacher in the corner, trying to work it down low to Patrick. Back up top, Palamo has it off this second offensive rebound. Margaretta being extremely patient, trying to get an open shot. Patrick floats it over the top. Dangerous pass, almost tipped away. They're going to say it was last touch by Margaretta, and everything going right for the Colonel Crawford Eagles.
They've come out, Storm, with a unique intensity, and Margaretta hasn't been able to match it, and they're doing a great job getting the ball in and beating this press that Margaretta has done so well at, forcing so many opponent turnovers. So far, the Eagles got their number.
Colonel Crawford now on offense, tipped out of bounds. Great defense for Palamo. Colonel Crawford running a little bit of stack action here on the early goings, a modified one. As they're able to get the ball inbounds, see if the stack play leads to anything. Rizar has it, almost gets it stolen away, picks up her dribble, kicks it over to Plesak. Little too aggressive defense there from Palamo. That's going to be a reach-in foul, and Colonel Crawford will reset out of bounds.
Eagles up 6-2 here early on the number 1 seed, Storm. Number 7, Colonel Crawford, trying to come in here, Storm, and play upset. And what a win this would be if they were able to pull this off. Still a long game ahead of us as we can get a turnover from the Eagles.
Unforced pass right there as it sails out of bounds. Margaretta will take the basketball the other way. Looking for their second score of the night. Leibacher has it, directing traffic for the Lady Polar Bears. Gets to her left, all the way past 2 defenders. Takes one up, aggressive defense leads to the foul, and Leibacher's gonna have a couple at the charity stripe.
And she's the story and has been all year for the Polar Bears. He leads them with 15.5 points per game, 10.9 rebounds, couple assists, Storm, couple steals, couple blocks. She does it all here for the Lady Polar Bears as she knocks down her first free throw.
Gets the first of 2 to go, still has another attempt on this trip to the free throw line. Leibacher puts up her second, that one no good. 50% from the line so far tonight. Colonel Crawford the other way. Mid-range try for the Eagles, and another jumper falls, this time from mid-range to go up 8-3. Margaretta the other way. Leibacher has it, takes a screen from Palamo, picks up her dribble, now feeds it over to Palamo at the top of the key. Fakes left, goes right. Miller now back to Palamo on the three-point line. Edwards head fake, drives inside, picks up her dribble. Leibacher in the post. Three-point, Miller. No good. Battle for the rebound. No foul, but gonna say it was the last touch by Margaretta Garrett. They are letting them play tonight. Colonel Crawford set to inbound in front of their own bench. Pressure still coming from Margaretta. Really not wanting to get up anything easy. Colonel Crawford has been having an easy time with that press, but not so much on that possession as that one leads to a jump ball and a turnover for the Eagles.
That's just going to be their second one here, Storm. Margaretta down 5 points here early. Not a spot they're used to being in this year, so see where they go offensively here with Eisenhower out. It's a bit of an adjustment, Storm, and your second leading scorer is off the floor due to injury, so they got to find some other options here on the offensive side of the ball.
Palamo kicks it out. Edwards three-point try. No good. That one sails out of bounds. Going to say it was last touch by Colonel Crawford, but yeah, you know, it must be tough losing anyone, I believe, you know, one of your starters must be tough, and that's always just a readjustment period, something you never want to have to deal with, especially when it comes to, you know, the start of the tournament.
Yeah, now checking into the game is Keller. Be curious to when Eisenhower comes off that bench for him, if she does at all throughout the game.
Margaretta on offense, quick post hook, no good. Another battle for the rebound, last touch by Colonel Crawford. And despite having the lead, Garrett, the Eagles giving up a lot of second chance opportunities.
And that's where Margaretta's been doing it all year long, getting those rebounds, getting those second chances at the rim, but the defense, for the most part, for the Eagles has been pretty stellar. Not on that cut right there as Keller gets the inbound feed, takes some contact, head to the free throw line.
So Margaretta now headed to the line for their third and fourth attempts of free throws on the night. Leibacher, split her first pair tonight. This will be Keller's first two attempts at the line. That one doesn't fall. Keller still has one more attempt on this trip. Gets that one to go. Margaretta on the night, 2 of 4 from the free throw stripe. Right back into their press. Colonel Crawford trying to break it, almost turns it over. Body's on the ground. It's going to be a timeout called by Colonel Crawford. Garrett, despite the success on the first couple of possessions beating that press, it has been kind of a nightmare for them to get the ball across half court.
Well, the last couple times what they were doing was they were getting the ball in so fast, they weren't letting Margaretta get set, and now Margaretta's been able to get set and finally implement that press the way they want to, and they've cut it to just 4, but you got to be impressed with Colonel Crawford here early in this game, limiting the opportunities for not only Leibacher, but really anybody else on the Lady Polar Bear squad.
Definitely, and we'll see what kind of play Colonel Crawford will draw up to break this press. Margaretta, such a stingy defensive team. They don't like to give up a lot, and that's kind of where it all starts for them at the defensive end. So we'll see how and if Colonel Crawford decides to handle this press.
We're going to have to adjust sometime soon, Storm, because I'm sure as the game wears on, the press is just going to continue to nag on these Eagles. Looks like they're going to be able to get it across the half court this time. They're going to. Thought she got away with a little bit of a hook there. With a scrap for the ball here. I'm going to get a jump ball call.
So another jump ball, this time possession arrow points in favor of the Colonel Crawford Eagles, but if you're Margaretta, I mean, you're happy with that result. You are just frustrating getting up into the bodies of Colonel Crawford and not letting anything come easy. That's Reisner has it for Colonel Crawford. Hands it off to Shipman. Back to Reisner. Mid-range fake for Roston. Kicks it back out. Reisner has it once again. High post free throw line. Shipman feeds it over to McKibben. Colonel Crawford with a lot of ball movement on this possession. Reisner trying to make something happen. She gets it back, almost stripped away by Palamo, and it is another steal for the Margaretta Polar Bears. Leibacher, fast break opportunity. In and out. through the legs, brings it back out. Just under 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Leibacher, quick crossover, gets all the way to the cup. Kicks it back out to Edwards, left wide open, from 15 feet, but a miss. 3-on-2 fast break. Colonel Crawford the other way. Reisner brings things back out. Colonel Crawford resets. Another swing around the outside. Roston has it. Edwards guarding her. Kicks it over. Now Reisner has it. Colonel Crawford wants the foul. Edwards, great defense, three-point try for Colonel Crawford. No good defensive rebound. Edwards looking to push the tempo. Stops, pops. That one drops. A three-pointer falls for the Polar Bears.
Nice shot right there from Lily Edwards, just stopping on a dime and making it rainstorm from downtown as they've cut it back to a 1-point deficit here with 1:45 left.
So Colonel Crawford, despite their hot start, has not had much success offensively as that three-pointer no good as well. Offensive rebound. Valentine takes a lot of contact and will be rewarded with her efforts at the free throw line.
Right place, right time right there for Valentine. Took the hard contact from Leibacher. And she'll head to the free throw line for two.
Valentine at the line. First one of two falls. Couple of Eagles check in, as well as Eisenhower for the Margaretta Lady Polar Bears.
Cross Colonel Crawford storm, I would try to maybe get Kylie Leibacher in the post. I know she's just drew the foul there. Maybe try to get her in foul trouble before the first quarter even ends, because then that would take away their leading scorer here from Margaretta. Plus, we already mentioned their second leading scorer is out with an injury.
Edwards has it, swings it in, down low. Eisenhower post hook. That one off the glass and in. Another two-pointer for the Polar Bears.
Checks right in the game storm and gets it done on the offensive end. That's Eisenhower stepping in. Talked about her ankle injury a bunch here early in this first quarter, but she's going to play a big role if she's able to stay out there on the floors right there. You've seen it on that last possession.
3-2 zone now for Margaretta. Colonel Crawford working it around the perimeter, trying to find something in that short corner or that free throw line area. They do get it to the short corner. Double team coming. Another steal for Margaretta. Edwards, the thief on that one, got her hand in the cookie jar and got the basketball in favor of Margaretta. Leibacher the other way, kicks it over to Keller, trying to work it down. Eisenhower, same spot. Not the same result as Colonel Crawford comes down with a rebound. Almost a turnover, but the Eagles are going to have an even 4-on-3 fast break. Three-point attempt for them. That one, no good, Garrett. And the Eagles, man, it has been rough for them offensively, despite the hot start.
They had those 2 3-pointers that were big, and other than that, it's been pretty stale here in these last couple of possessions. Margaretta, I think, has woke up. They had that slow start, a little bit of nerves coming in to this district semifinal, but they've woken up. It's a 1-point game. It looks like they're going to get the last shot of this first quarter.
Leibacher has it. She only has 1 point on the night so far for Margaretta. 10 seconds left to play here in the opening period. Eisenhower, high post, gets it to Leibacher. 5 seconds. Leibacher going to work in the post. At the horn, no good. Putback attempt falls, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Polar Bears lead by 1. We're going to be right back after this break.
Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more.
Somebody else
Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd. Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Back here at Shelby High School, where Margaretta has a 1-point advantage despite a hot Colonel Crawford start. Storm Blunchley joined by the illustrious Garrett Parlett and Garrett Eisenhower off the bench, having a big impact on this one.
Second leading scorer on this team, checked into the game and has now made a couple shots here early and making an impact, not only on the offensive end, but the defensive end as well. As Reisner is going to cue a mid-range jumper. That's not going to fall, and Leibacher there to grab the defensive rebound.
Margaretta has numbers, 2-on-2 fast break. That one thrown away right into the hands of Chase. Colonel Crawford the other way, kicks it to the corner. Plesac goes all the way up with it, no good. And another difficult possession for the Eagles offensively.
Look for Margaretta to slow this tempo down. Look for them to go back to Eisenhower. Storm, she's been able to get great position down low, and right there, almost had the opportunity. The great defense from Shipman.
Tried to float that one up over the top, little too much on it. Colonel Crawford's able to get a fingertip on it, tip it out of bounds. They will have possession, almost stolen away. Great ball movement down low. Edwards, no good. Rebound falls in the hands of Plesac. Stolen right away. Keller on the fast break. Gonna say that foul was on the ground, but Margaretta's defense just suffocating.
Crawford was able to beat it those first few possessions, Storm, but other than that, the Lady Polar Bears are starting to get what they want on that defensive trap, that press. They've got a couple steals, couple turnovers off of it. See if they can score something here. Look for them to go back to Eisenhower, who's had a good couple minutes.
And that they do, this time on the three-point line. She kicks it to Keller, over to Palamo. Skip pass, Edwards, three-pointer. Call that one a pass as Leibacher goes up with it and one. And another terrific offensive set for Margaretta.
Showing off the strength right there is Kylie Leibacher, just getting great position, shielding off the defender. With the muscle too, Storm.
Looks like Aaron Donald making a swim move right there. Oh my goodness, way to fight around that box out. Leibacher gets her and one attempt converted, 6-point advantage here for the Polar Bears. Colonel Crawford able to get it across half court, almost turns it over. They're able to hang on to the basketball. Reisner kicks it over. Wakeman had 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. Didn't get that one to go. Leibacher cross half court. Right at the defender, all the way to the cup, floats one up. Blocking foul in Leibacher. Some more free throw attempts here.
I think that's a correct call, Storm. I believe that was Allison Weithman down low. Didn't get her feet set. Was still moving when Leibacher made the contact. That's why she's headed to the free throw line. But ever since that 6-2 Storm early lead for Colonel Crawford, they've been outscored 14-4.
Yeah, it has definitely been a difficult offensive night for Colonel Crawford. Had the 2 threes in the first half, or excuse me, the first quarter. But man, since then the offense has been few and far between as Leibacher splits the pair again. What is that, a carpet square?
Coach holding up some sort of combination Storm. That must be the defensive or the offensive set that Colonel Crawford's running. It's like college football when you see him hold up those signs.
We'll try to decipher maybe those codes to the Colonel Crawford's offense as the game continues. They have it on offense. 7-point advantage now for Margaretta. Weithman has it. And check out the Margaretta defense just swarming. That must be so frustrating as our Colonel Crawford is. That one definitely looked like it was
I think that went off her foot, Storm.
Yeah, out of bounds off of Colonel Crawford. So Crawford getting away with one there.
Catching a break there, and they need some buckets here, Storm. They've been struggling here offensively. A credit to Margaretta's defense, and this might help. As tremendous take right to the cup. That's going to be Gabby Roston, the freshman.
17-12 now here in the second quarter on your Burkhart Farms Center scoreboard. Leibacher has it, kicks it over to Palamo. Back to Leibacher in the corner. Eisenhower, 15-footer. No good. Offensive rebound. Reach-in foul on the Eagles. Out of bounds, Margaretta basketball.
Some substitutions for the Eagles. Mallory Plesack's going to check in for the Eagles.
Inbound pass to Eisenhower, makes her move, goes up with it, floats one up. Not enough on it. 4-on-2 fast break for the Eagles. They reset it back out into the post. McKibben has it, triple team coming. Eisenhower with the steal, kicks it to Leibacher on the outlet pass. Marietta dribble moves for Leibacher, gets it into the corner, Miller's waiting for it. Deep three-pointer, Palamo, that one off the rim a couple of times and out. And Garrett, something I'd like to see Colonel Crawford try to do much more is not let Margaretta's defense get set. It seems like they have numbers on the fast break, but really just not trying to capitalize.
Well, they had success in the first quarter when they were doing that. We're going to get a timeout from Margaretta. But as you mentioned, that transition for Colonel Crawford was working in the first half, the first quarter, not letting the Polar Bears get set. They would be able to swing it around, and Allison Weethman had that hot start from downtown, but other than that, it's been pretty quiet here offensively. 6 of 6 points. They've only had 6, and Margaretta's defense is finally starting to get it going.
Definitely, and that's what Margaretta loves to do. They like to play defensively, and that's exactly what they're doing. Their zone is causing a lot of trouble for Colonel Crawford, and it has been really difficult for them to come by points, but still very, very tightly contested ball game.
Yeah, only a 5-point deficit, Storm. They just got to clean it up a little bit on the defensive end. Eisenhower's had a big impact when she's came into the game, and obviously Leibacher, she's been living at the free throw line. She's going to get another pair here on this trip. They got to continue to shoot the ball well. The threes have got to fall for Colonel Crawford tonight. So far, they've had a solid chance. You check out our player spotlight from Kylie Leibacher. 15.5 points, 11 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 2 steals as she knocks down her first one.
Converts the first on the 1-and-1. Leibacher. That one rattles around and goes. So a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. Colonel Crawford once again trying to get their offense back on track. Double team coming quickly from Margaretta. Valentine able to hold on to it. Now to the hands of Roston, back over to Valentine. She tries a three-pointer. No good, and ice cold is the Colonel Crawford offense as Leibacher pulls down the rebound.
Margaretta out-rebounding Colonel Crawford 15-9 here early. They're going to try a triple. That's not going to fall. Colonel Crawford gets a defensive rebound. We're going to reach and foul on Eisenhower.
What did you say the rebounding differential was?
15-9.
Wow. And it is really shown as Margaretta just getting a ton of second chance opportunities. Colonel Crawford will get a stop on the first try, but just letting Margaretta get those offensive rebounds and second attempts at points, it's nothing you want to do, especially when you're down points here with the second quarter clock winding down.
That was one of our keys, Storm, for Colonel Crawford was to rebound the basketball well. Margaretta, they get about 32 a game, and unfortunate event right there for Colonel Crawford. They're going to turn it over. That's just going to roll off of Reisner's foot and go out of bounds. So not the start here in the second quarter for Colonel Crawford. And Margaretta looking to pour it on.
They will have a chance to do that here on this offensive possession. Seems like Colonel Crawford's in a modified 3-2 as Leibacher tries a triple off the back iron out, but a big offensive rebound, and that's what we were just talking about, Garrett, those second chance opportunities for Margaretta.
You can tell that Margaretta likes their chances in that painted area. Storm the fouls. 8 Eagles fouls to Margaretta 3, and you can tell that's because there's so much contact going on in the painted area at Storm, and it's going to errant those free throws when you go up and get slapped on the wrist, and the Polar Bears are doing a great job on the inside.
Patrick nails her first free throw, still has another one. Second one goes up and in. 9 points, largest lead of the night, and Margaretta not taking their foot off the gas here, still up in their presses. Colonel Crawford desperate for an answer. Like a safety coming out of nowhere, Garrett. I mean, where did she even come from?
Yeah, the ball's got to be out of there quicker, Storm, if you're Shipman. As soon as you catch it, you got to throw it. Just great defense from Polar Bears. That's how you play a press right there, too.
Elevator. That was the old elevator play right there.
You gave me a little hand signal. I don't know if you were trying to signal a stack play or because I didn't see a stack.
Well, that was the other play that I really liked, the old elevator play for Colton Kissel. As Leibacher has it on the offensive end, kicks it over to Edwards. 3 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Leibacher, high post. Palamo, three-point try. That one falls, and the offensive prowess continues for Margaretta.
Great job passing the ball around for Margaretta. And what a turnaround, Storm this has been. Outscoring Colonel Crawford 18-6 here in the second quarter. And that one's not going to fall, and Margaretta's going to get another chance, Storm, to continue to add on to this 12-point lead.
Gosh, that's what I'm talking about, Garrett. I mean, that was a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity that Colonel Crawford had, and no points coming out of it. They got to be better at taking advantage of what Margaretta is getting them, because those opportunities, they do not come easy versus this Polar Bears defense. Miller has it for Margaretta. Dribbles to her left, trying to work it down low. She gets it to Leibacher, going to work in the post. Tiny hook, no good, but another battle for the rebound, and Eagles gonna have a 3-on-2 opportunity. Aggressive defense right there, and Colonel Crawford's gonna be rewarded with the basketball out of bounds.
I actually thought, Storm, they were going to call that a travel. Thought there was before the contact, but nonetheless, should have been called a foul there on Miller.
Colonel Crawford back on offense. Valentine has it, swings it over to Worthman. Colonel Crawford gets that one to go. That's Reisner with the easy two-point layup.
That's their first bucket here in a couple minutes now. And that's their leading scorer with 16.8 points per game. They got to get the ball to Reisner a little bit more.
Margaret on offense. Leibacher has it. Beautiful feed right there to Patrick, who finishes the dish with the easy deuce. Colonel Crawford the other way. Scored on their last possession. We'll see if they can make it 2 in a row. As Roston has it. Swings it over to the left wing, back up top. Colonel Crawford really trying to work this one around, get something open on this possession.
Ooh.
Beautiful Euro step for Reisner, but can't get the finish, and Leibacher and company on the other end.
They're beasting and feasting, Storm, to say the least, on the glass. Already up to 18 rebounds here in the first half.
Wow.
They're definitely going to eclipse their average of 32. They might try to hold this for the last and final possessions. Up here 12. No need to really force the issue, but tremendous crossover right there from Leibacher, and they're going to feed her in the post.
They reset things back out to Edwards. Under 40 now left to play here in the second. Poked away, that's going to be Cookies, but Edwards able to track it down in the backcourt. Margaretta forced to call a timeout, but some disgruntled Colonel Crawford fans think she might have not had possession, or maybe that's a jump ball.
And I think I agree, Storm, with the Colonel Crawford fans. I don't think you can grant the timeout call right there when both teams are fighting for it. Nobody really had clear possession of the ball. You see it on the replay right here. Reisner's got her hand in there, and then another Colonel Crawford Eagle comes in there and gets her hands on it. I, in fact, think Reisner had more of the possession than Margaretta, so I think the fans have a right to be upset as well as the coaching staff for Colonel Crawford, but now you got a D up here on this final possession before the end of the second quarter.
So Margaretta with a 12-point advantage over the Eagles. Edwards on the inbound pass. 30 seconds left to play here in the second. Leibacher with, I believe that's Valentine guarding her. Kicks it over to Edwards. Margaretta in no rush to get off this last shot. Miller over to Edwards, now working it down low to Leibacher. She kicks it back out. Edwards, three-point try. No good, tracks down her own shot. And smart offense right there for Edwards. Sensed the pressure on her and just kind of lofts that one up knowing she'd get the foul. That is very smart offense.
That's exactly what they need to do right there. Edwards getting the offensive rebound, and then not even if she was going to take a shot there, strong, but she felt the contact, decided to flail her arms, send it up to the bucket, and knocks down her first attempt.
Like a Trae Young type foul right there. He's always kind of jumping into defenders as Edwards gets her first to go.
I want to give a shout out to our fans. If you're sitting here watching this D3 sectional, or excuse me, district semifinal, hop in the fan zone. Let us know where you're watching from. Me and Storm will give you a shout out.
28-14 on your scoreboard. 4.3 seconds. Colonel Crawford going to have to go quickly, get it ripped away, and that's going to take us into the end of the second quarter. Margaretta on top 24-18 over the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Second half action coming your way on the other side of this break.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skoronsky, and you are just watching live and free girls high school hoops exclusively on the OH Report. But stick around, the halftime show is next, including stats, analysis, and so much more, including the second half on the way.
Nervous? Oh, Lays. Brings back so many good memories. Remember our road trip in '97? Our first real heart-to-heart.
I've never seen any of your movies. Not even the ones we were together.
Hey, do you remember when that stalker kidnapped us?
Yes.
Lays was there.
Blaze.
Do you have barbecue?
Or cheddar jalapeno.
Ooh. Oh, remember when we stumbled into that turf war? Remember when you bought your first house?
Hi, I'm Seth.
Those were good times.
They were golden.
You ready? Seth, do you?
I do.
And Janet, do you?
That's a yes.
I love this lady! Best day of my life!
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby High School, where the Margaretta Polar Bears are on top of the Colonel Crawford Eagles 28-14. Storm Bluntschli joined by the illustrious Garrett Parlett, and Garrett Parlett, the Polar Bears showing why they're our #1 seed.
#1 seed for a reason. Colonel Crawford got up to that hot start by 2 of Allison Weekman's threes. She had 6 there early in the first quarter, but after that, the Polar Bears able to flex on the Eagle Storm, and it's been them ever since, and really no looking back. So Colonel Crawford, they're going to have a big task at hand in the second half of them. Any shot to come back, match at least these 14-point deficits, and then continue to pour it on.
Let's take a look at our halftime stats now on our Burkhart Farm Center halftime show, as the, once again, Margaretta Polar Bears lead the Colonel Crawford Eagles 28-14. Starting off with Margaretta, 6 field goals, 2 threes, 19 rebounds, 4 fouls, 5 turnovers. Shooting 6 of 9 from the free throw stripe. That is 66%. Colonel Crawford with 3 field goals, 2 threes, 10 rebounds, 8 fouls, 6 turnovers, shooting 100% from the free throw line. And Garrett, the rebounding differential has been a really, really big struggle so far for Colonel Crawford.
Talked about that in the pregame Storm, that Margaretta is such a good rebounding team. They average about 32 a game. They're going to get over that here tonight. They already got 19, so a heck of a performance here early from the Polar Bears. They just got to maintain that, continue to do what you're doing in the second half, and they should be able to walk out of here heading to district final.
Definitely, and for Colonel Crawford, what do they need to do to get it done offensively? It has just not been their night. 2 threes, and I believe it was like the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then after that, it just all went downhill.
Well, Storm, we mentioned it there in that first and second quarter. They got to get down the floor and beat the press defense from Margaretta. They got the opportunities, they're just not capitalizing on it. Let's take a look at this bracket, Storm. See Margaretta beat Cary. Colonel Crawford had to beat Willard in the first round, then beat Huron. And then at the bottom of that bracket, Crestview knocked off Winford, and Upper Sandusky knocked off Western Reserve. Sandusky had that big upset over Lakota, and then Crestview able to handle business versus Winford. So that's going to be our second game. That's going to be coming up here in a little bit. But right now, we still got to see if the Eagles have any fight left in them in the second half.
Definitely another kind of modified stack play here for the Eagles. Colonel Crawford on offense. Reisner has it. Kicks it over to the corner. Screen for, I believe that's Weefman, who had 2 threes in the first quarter. That one thrown away into the hands of Edwards. Margaretta the other way. Leibacher, such a treat offensively, already has 7 tonight. Looking to add more to her total on this possession. Leibacher kicks it over to Palamo. Dribbles to her left, takes a screen from Edwards. I'm going to say that was a push-off on Colonel Crawford, so it'll be Margaretta basketball out of bounds.
Margaretta's been able to force Colonel Crawford getting some foul trouble. He had 8 in that first half, and sending Margaretta to the free throw line is not something you want to do, especially when they get the lead. It just gives them free opportunities to get more.
Margaretta off the inbound, floats one over the top. Leibacher, another strong move at the rim. That time no good, and Colonel Crawford finally able to limit Margaretta to 1 offensive possession. Speaking of multiple offensive possessions, Colonel Crawford with an offensive rebound and a foul.
This is what Colonel Crawford needs to do more, is push it into the paint. Head to the free throw line and see if you can make some easy shots. They need any point that they can get. Not going to be able to capitalize on that one. That's going to be fight.
And if Margaretta's giving you opportunities at the free throw stripe, you have to take them. Points have not come easy so far for Colonel Crawford, as that one falls and Fike splits the pair. Leibacher the other way across the timeline. Dribbles to her left, hands it off to Edwards. Goes inside, kicks it out to Miller. Miller, a couple of spin moves, resets things back out to the three-point line. Hands it off, Palamo, 3-point try. That one no good, and another one-and-done offensive possession for Margaretta.
It's got to start defensively for the Eagles, and that was a great possession right there, not letting them get any position down low. That's where Margaretta was hurting them all night, and these turnovers, too, will add up as they rack up another one.
Leibacher and company on the other end. Leibacher dribbles to her left, kicks it out to Miller on the three-point line. Back up top to Edwards. Now into the hands of Miller. Pull-up try from the free throw line. No good. Last touched by Margaretta. So Colonel Crawford doing some things right defensively here.
Yeah, they've had the right defensive position, forcing Margaretta to shoot jump shots instead of getting those easy looks in the paint. But the offense has got to find itself here in the second half against a tough Margaretta team that only allows 41 points a game.
Colonel Crawford offensively still really don't have an answer as Reisner kicks it off to Weithman. Now back to the hands of Reisner. Spin move, gets past the defender, puts up a wild shot. That one no good. Offensive rebound for Colonel Crawford. And they're going to head to the line for another two attempts.
Doing a better job on the boards are the Eagles here in the second half. Grabbed a couple offensive rebounds here early in the third quarter. But this is where they got to make the most of their opportunity, and haven't been able to do so as McKibben is going to miss another free throw.
Fike will sit down for the Eagles that is McKibben at the free throw line. Second one falls. Leibacher on the other end for Margaretta. Hands this one off to Palamo. Now into the hands of Edwards. And a travel, so Colonel Crawford locking down defensively to start the second half.
Polar Bears haven't even scored here in the second half, but Colonel Crawford really not able to do anything. They've got a couple trips to the free throw line. They've only made a pair. And now from three, Weithman, that's not going to fall, and Margaretta get the ball back on offense.
So the defense clicking for them, but the offense still something they cannot convert on. Garrett, it has been rough for them offensively. Leibacher all the way to the cup. That layup falls, and the Polar Bears first to hit 30 tonight.
It was way too easy for Leibacher with the left hand. Just went right down Main Street, Storm. Laid it in with the left hand.
Right down Broadway Street, Garrett. Colonel Crawford on the other end, trying to answer Leibacher's layup. Three-point try for Colonel Crawford, and Weithman hits another three-pointer.
And she's been the story here, and really all the offense for the Eagles here tonight. She's got 3 threes to her name. She's going to continue to try to put those up at a high rate. But if those don't fall, Storm, where's the offense going to come from Colonel Crawford? She's really been the only answer here.
That I am not sure, but Leibacher gets into the paint, kicks it out. Edwards, three-point answer. That one true, and the Polar Bears starting to heat up in the second half.
Nice shot right there from Edwards. As Plesac going to try to answer it on the other end, but Weithman, right place, right time. They're going to try to get her open for three. Not going to fall. Going to fight for it. It's going to be a jump ball.
Possession arrow points to the Polar Bears, so with just a hair over 4 minutes left to play here in the third, it will be Margaretta basketball.
Timeout here from the Eagles. The defense was working there early in the third quarter, but the offense wasn't helping and capitalizing on the opportunities they had at the free throw line, the open looks that they had. Weithman had the lone three. Now the Polar Bears got their own three. And up in this game, Storm, to another double-digit deficit. They started off with the Eagles really honing in. Crestview now in the building as well as Upper Sandusky. See just right over top of us, Storm. Cougars beat Winford, the 4th seed, held them to 27 points, so got another great matchup coming here live and free on the OH Report right as soon as this one ends. But right now, see if Margaretta and the Lady Polar Bears can take care of business.
Off the inbound, Leibacher has it. 4 minutes left to play here in the third. Leibacher with McKibben guarding her, takes his screen, gets through traffic, floater alert, that one. Couple of high bounces off the rim and out of bounds. Gonna say it was last touch by Margaretta. It will be Colonel Crawford basketball.
See if Reisner can get a little bit more offense. She's typically up to around 17 points a game, but here tonight that's going to be a carry on her. So another turnover here for the Eagles. They're now up to 10.
So another costly turnover for the Eagles right when they were starting to get some momentum going. Margaretta has just been all over it. Leibacher across the half-court line. Takes a screen from Driscoll. Kicks it over to Palamo. Now Leibacher setting the screen. Palamo all the way into the paint. Out to Driscoll. Couple of dribble moves. Keller has it. Dribbles baseline. Puts up a layup. That one, silky smooth finish from Keller and an easy 2-point basket.
Tough finish right there for Keller. She averages around 4 points a game. Somehow sneaking that one in past the defender. Not letting it get blocked. And going to get a reach-in call. That's also going to go against Keller.
Out of bounds, Colonel Crawford basketball. Valentine set to inbound. Gets it to Reisner. She's directing traffic for the Eagles. McKibben, three-point line, hands it off to Reisner, over into the hands of Valentine now. Palamo clear the tarmac for takeoff. Can't finish the easy layup. But Patrick has her back and will head to the free throw line for two.
Another rebound right there for Margaretta. That's going to be Jennifer Patrick. She had a start tonight. Had to step in for Eisenhower, who's dealing with that injury. Not able to get the first one. But has stepped in and provided some key minutes here tonight. She's got 6 here throughout the game, and looking to add her total with the second free throw.
Puts up the second attempt. That one no good. Colonel Crawford with 2:30 left to play here in the third. A lot of contact on that defensive possession. No foul calling. 1 turnover for each team. Colonel Crawford, 3-on-1 fast break. Charge foul. Great call right there by the referee, as I believe that is Palamo was able to get in, get her feet set, and maybe got the wind knocked out of her a little bit.
Got a teammate running the floor with you. Want to dump that off right there. Roston was wide open. Freisner was able to do so. They probably would have got 2 points out of that. Great defensive possession right there, stepping in and taking the charge.
Palamo kicks it out to Edwards. Now on the three-point line, Keller dribbling inside, hands it off to Palamo. Thought about the three-pointer. Gets it back to Keller. Palamo once again thought about the three-pointer. Kicks it outside. Edwards all the way to lane. Floater alert! Tony Parker-esque and one off the floater.
Showing off the moves right there, Storm, is Edwards. Banking it into with the contact. And now the lead continues to swell.
We reference Tony Parker quite a bit, I feel like, on our broadcast, Garrett.
Look at this cheese.
When was the last time he even played an NBA game?
Like 2014?
Wow.
2013?
Time
Remember, he
flies,
played
I
for the
guess. I do remember when he used to play for the Hornets. As Colonel Crawford dribbles inside, high off the glass. No good, but a couple more for Colonel Crawford. And you know, the offense has kind of been there in the third quarter, but just not enough, as Margaretta just complete dominance so far in this one.
Well, really, ever since those couple of threes, we finally got some confirmation, Storm, on that Tony Parker. It was in 2015, so we weren't far off from the 2014-2013 season. But since that 12-point first, early second quarter point total for the Eagles. They've only got 6 points to their name throughout that second quarter and almost ended this third here, but it's got to start defensively for the Eagles. Margaretta's had some easy looks at the bucket and Leibacher and Eisenhower, and then they made the most of their opportunities from behind the arc.
Driscoll has it, gets all the way to the 10, puts one up. No good rebound by Colonel Crawford. And speaking of Tony Parker, there's a home run ball right there, but speaking of Tony Parker, Garrett, I feel like they have not gotten a lot of credit for what they've done in San Antonio. You know, we talk a lot about the NBA top 75, but Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, not even in the conversation? That's some cheese.
That is, in fact, some cheese. I think that they at least deserve to be in the conversation considering Damian Lillard was, but
I forgot, honestly, though, that those two were even basketball players. I won't lie to you. Edwards has it for Margaretta. Unforced error and unforced turnover as Edwards just throws that one out of bounds.
Little miscommunication. Edwards thought she was going to cut. She, in fact, did not, resulting in the turnover. Only 8 here tonight for Margaretta, so they played a pretty clean game. That's why they got this 8-point advantage. Or 18, excuse me.
Under a minute left to play here in the third. 3-point try. She's got 3 already, and that one, the 4th, as Weithman has been the one bright spot here so far for Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, Storm, you got to draw up some plays for her. You got to get her open from the 3-point line because she's caught fire now in this game. And nice play defensively from her, too, but she's going to turn it right back over to Margaretta.
Edwards has it, 20 seconds to play. They're going to say a little too aggressive defense as Colonel Crawford picks up the foul.
See the pass from Reisner outside for Weithman. That was a couple steps behind the 3-point line, too, making a splash. She's now up to 12. She's got 4 of those triples. And really the only bright spot here for Colonel Crawford here tonight.
21.3 left to play here in the third quarter. Couple of substitutions for both teams. As Keller set to inbound for Margaretta. Deep inbound to Miller. I'd be very shocked to not see Leibacher and company hold this one for the last shot. 12 seconds now. Back in the hands of Keller. 5 seconds. Leibacher gonna need to put something up at the horn. Keller 3 steps behind. No good, and that's gonna send us into the fourth quarter. Margaretta leads Colonel Crawford 38-23. We're gonna be right back on the other side of this break.
It's Freedom Fest Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
Good God Almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
Fourth quarter action already underway here at Shelby High School, where the Margaretta Polar Bears trail the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Excuse me, the other way around. The Colonel Crawford Eagles trail the Margaretta Polar Bears 38-23. Storm Blunchley joined by the illustrious Garrett Parlett. And Garrett, despite a decent third quarter, Colonel Crawford still trailing big.
Yeah, Storm, they've been able to knock down a few threes, and by that I mean Allison Weithman. She's been carrying the team on her back. She's now out of the game, so this is typically where the offense has been a little stagnant for the Eagles. But it's got to start on the defensive end. They got to get stopped, Storm, in bunches. Almost every possession, I would say. they got to get some kind of defensive stop and get a bucket on the other end.
Keller has it for Margaretta. On the offensive end, it has been a pretty good night for them so far. Thanks in much in part to who has the basketball right now. Leibacher just short on the layup attempt, but has 9 points total. 3-on-2 fast break for Colonel Crawford, and Garrett once again deciding to bring it back out. That time leads to a three-pointer, but really just have not been taking advantage of the fast break opportunities they've been given.
Have an opportunity to push the ball into the painted area and get a layup, but elect to go for the three. This time they make it splash. They've had 5 of those threes here tonight, so 15 of their 26 coming from behind the arc, and it's a big reason why they're still hanging on. Storm only down 12 points here, so definitely not out of it, but they got to get the defense ramped up and get some stops.
Well, and we saw in that third quarter at the beginning, they held Margaretta scoreless there for a couple minutes, and I think the biggest thing is they held them to no second chance opportunities. That has been a big hindrance so far for them defensively, just the inability to box out and secure a rebound.
Yeah, Margaretta, a team that cleans house, you could say, down on the boards. They like to grab upwards of 30 of them, and they've been doing that here tonight, but Colonel Crawford was able to contain that a little bit in that third quarter and get back into this game, but it's got to start first defensively. Margaretta has been pouring on the points here in the third. Now moving into the fourth. Let's see if they can get some stops.
Well, they will need them, and they will need to come in bunches if they want to overcome this 12-point lead. Under 7 minutes now left to play. Leibacher has it. Colonel Crawford with a steal, and they're going to say it was a little too aggressive on the loose ball as Miller with the foul. It's going to be going in Colonel Crawford's favor.
Not a fan of that call, Storm, to be completely honest. I think just 2 players going at it right there, trying to grab the loose basketball. I think the ref blew his whistle just a little too quick.
I'm in some agreement with you, Garrett. It just kind of looked like two players diving for a loose ball. Didn't really see anything malicious. But nonetheless, the call is the call. No challenges here at the high school level, at least not yet. As Colonel Crawford has it across the timeline. Roston, kick out. Reisner has it all the way to the lane, and a couple more free throw attempts coming for Colonel Crawford, Garrett, but this is not the same type of defense we saw from Margaretta in the first half.
Now the Eagles' offense is starting to heat up. They're starting to wake up a little bit, and this is the time to do so in money time. Heading to the free throw stripe is Reisner. Now she's starting to come alive. She's now up to 8 points, half of her season average. She knocks down her first one.
In the game coming up right after this one, Upper Sandusky taking on Crestview. Garrett, that one's going to be a treat as well, as the winner of this game will play the winner of that game in the district finals.
Either combination storm that we get will be a fantastic matchup. Could see 2 Northern 10 foes who are very familiar with each other going at it, or we could see the top 2 seeds, Crestview and Margaretta, heading at it too.
We have to stick around live and free on the OH Report to see how things will pan out, as Margaretta off the offensive rebound will get 2 points to fall. Colonel Crawford the other way on the fast break. They decide to bring it back out. We've been thought about the three. Driving inside now. How about that rebound from Keller on the ground? Able to grab it, and Margaretta elects to take a timeout.
13-point deficit here for the Eagles. The 3-point shooting has been carrying them for the most part. Now Reisner able to get a couple buckets, but you got to convert at all the opportunities and the looks you get right at the rim, and Reisner right there not able to capitalize for her 10th bucket.
So Colonel Crawford, it seems like they're either able to play offense or play defense. They haven't really been able to put it all together yet so far. Usually when the offense is clicking, the defense isn't, vice versa, Garrett. It has just been difficult for them to put all the puzzle pieces in the right spot.
You're exactly right, Storm. The whole team hasn't been able to play as a cohesive unit here tonight. Offense has either been on, defense has been on, but haven't been able to put it together. And when they do so, they might be able to crawl back into this one. They've put in a heck of a fight, you could say. I know they're down 13 points in the fourth quarter. Clock ticking away, but there's still an opportunity here for them to claw back into this one. Just take a look at the bracket right there. Some lower seed storm, some upsets here in this bracket, especially Upper Sandusky, the 6th seed, Colonel Crawford, the 7, both out of the Northern 10, too.
That's why I love these big brackets, Garrett, because you see upsets, you see things that, normally wouldn't see in a traditional playoff sense. As Margaretta cues up a three-pointer. Palamo, no good offensive rebound. That one falls, and the second chance points, killing Colonel Crawford once again.
The rebound numbers are tremendous for Margaretta. They're just cleaning the boards, and that's been a big part of why they got this 15-point advantage. But is Colonel Crawford going to be able to answer the bell, maybe get a 3 here? Look for Wiseman.
Reisner has it. Takes a screen from Plesac. Roston has it. Dribbling around the three-point line. Kicks it back over to Reisner. Into the hands of McKibben now. Three-point try. Colonel Crawford on target, but a little too strong. Margaretta is going to have it the other way. Leibacher across the half-court line into the hands of Palamo. Aggressive defense, no foul, and Edwards resets things for Margaretta.
No need to push the pace here for Margaretta. Just slow things down. Find an open shot at the rim. That's what they're trying to do right there, and that's going to be a hold. The right call on Reisner, on Eisenhower. She had her beat back door and just grabbed on so she didn't get the easy shot at the rim.
Margaretta, deep inbound pass to Eisenhower. Little too aggressive defense on Reisner, as that one's going to be a foul, and Margaretta's going to have the basketball out of bounds. Excuse me, we're in the bonus now. It's going to be a 1-and-1 actually for Eisenhower.
So this will not help Colonel Crawford's chances of getting back into this game, sending a team into the bonus. So now every foul, they get some shots at the free throw line, and they've been pretty tremendous here tonight on knocking down from the free throw line.
Eisenhower with her second attempt. That one falls as well. Colonel Crawford the other way. Reisner has it. Gets it off to Roston. Into the hands of McKibben, swinging it all the way around. Good ball movement on this possession for Colonel Crawford. Risen over to Plesac. Almost stolen away by Eisenhower. Going to be a tie-up for the basketball. Jump ball. Possession arrow points in favor of the Polar Bears. 4:14 left to play here in the fourth, and the Polar Bears, the number 1 seeded team here in this district, with a commanding lead over the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Palamo has it, skip pass all the way over to Edwards. Leibacher trying to establish position inside, they get it to her. Kicks it back out to Palamo, dribbles to her right, gets all the way inside, reverse layup. Easy finish at the rim for Palamo and the Margaretta Polar Bears.
Nice play right there from Palamo, just getting right underneath the defense, right underneath the rim, and then flipping it up underneath. Somehow get it to go, and nice play defensively from Lily Edwards, getting her hands on the ball and drawing the jump ball call.
Could definitely start to sense the frustration for Colonel Crawford. It has just really not been their night, in huge part to Margaretta's defense just really stopping the Eagles no matter where they try to score from.
And now with 3:30 left, Storm, the offense has got to come in a hurry if you're Colonel Crawford. There's no point to swing the ball around. You got to get going. Down almost 20 points here, down 19. See if they can find something here on this possession.
Eagles still working it around. Almost a turnover for Wheatman, able to get it out of her hands. Reisner trying to establish position down low. 3-point try. Wheatman and riding the hot hand. 15 points just on 3-pointers alone.
Absolute butter Storm right there from downtown. She's got 15 points for Colonel Crawford. And the only the only thread hanging here for Colonel Crawford is they're down 16 points. And nice spin move right there from Leibacher.
Palamo has it. 2:45 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Over to Leibacher. Hesitation, dribbles one way. Takes a lot of contact. No foul call, right into the hands, back into Leibacher's hands, and one. Garrett, that one could be the cherry on top of things here in Shelby.
A little bit stunned, Storm, that they called the foul so late there. I thought there was a foul on the first one. I didn't see much contact here, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless.
Maybe a makeup call?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. Right place, right time right there for Leibacher. Grabbing the offensive board. Hitting it, now heading to the free throw line. She's looking to add to her total. And she will knock the first one, and one down.
So 12 points for Leibacher tonight. Colonel Crawford needs to get going in a hurry if they want a chance to come back into this one. Have to play almost perfectly, as that's another three-point. They're going to say a foul this time. And Weekman's going to head to the free throw line for 3 attempts. How about?
I think it's the right play from Colonel Crawford. Storm, you got to feed her. She's been knocking down these triples left and right, and now heading to the free throw line to see if she can do it, but can't knock down the first one.
And Garrett Weithman with 50% of Colonel Crawford's points. She just has been having that type of night tonight, unfortunately for her. The rest of the Colonel Crawford team just really not able to get anything going.
Margaretta just too much to handle, Storm, here for Colonel Crawford. Very great team that the Polar Bears are. They got too many scorers on this team. And even without their second leading scorer being fully healthy, they were able to pick up a commanding win here tonight.
Just over 2 minutes, Leibacher and company in no hurry. Spin move, Leibacher all the way to the cup. That one, and that's just too easy as another layup falls for Leibacher. On the other end, Colonel Crawford, they answer with a quick two-pointer, but maybe just a little too late.
And that's what we've seen in that first quarter. They were moving the ball up the floor, not letting Margaretta get set, and it was working. They kind of slowed the tempo down, and it didn't work to their advantage as Margaretta's defense was able to get set and force some turnovers.
Driscoll has it for the Polar Bears. Gets in the hands of Edwards. A little too aggressive defense by Weithman. And Edwards is going to step up to the line for a one-on-one.
Now Leibacher and most of the starters going to check out of the game. So they'll be moving on to the district final that will be played here. I believe that is on Saturday at 3 p.m. Storm and I will be here for that.
Pretty sure we're both going to be here, right?
Yep.
So that'll be a fun one. As Edwards steps up to the line for her second on the one-on-one. That one goes 53-34, 1:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter, and all Margaretta pretty much has to do is dribble this one out next time they get on the offensive side of things. Colonel Crawford swinging the ball around the outside. Weithman, three-point try. That time no good. Margaretta with the defensive rebound, and with just over a minute to play, this one all but over.
What a win this is for Margaretta. I know that Colonel Crawford started off hot, but it didn't weather. They weathered the storm. They weathered the storm, storm. Colonel Crawford had that 6-2 advantage, and we really didn't know what to expect. Storm as a 7 seed. Colonel Crawford coming in, had the big win over Huron and got out to that early advantage, but Margaretta put their head down, went to work like they've been doing all season, and were able to really get a blowout win here in the district semis.
So it looks like 53-34 going to be your final, and the number 1 seeded Margaretta Polar Bears continue their reign of dominance as they're going to coast to an easy victory over the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Make sure you stick with us after this game concludes. We're going to have a player of the game interview as well as some final stats coming at you right on the other side of this break. 53-34, your final.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skoronsky, and you were just watching live and free girls high school hoops exclusively on the OH Report. But stick around, the halftime show is next, including stats, analysis, and so much more, including the second half on the way.
Nervous? Oh, Lay's. Brings back so many good memories. Remember our road trip in '97? Our first real heart-to-heart.
I've never seen any of your movies. Not even the ones we're in together.
Hey, do you remember when that stalker kidnapped us?
Yes.
Lays was there.
Lay's.
Do you have barbecue or cheddar jalapeno?
Ooh. Oh, remember when we stumbled into that turf war? Remember when you bought your first house?
Hi, I'm Seth.
Those were good times.
They were golden.
You ready? Seth, do you?
I do.
And Janet, do you?
That's a yes.
I love this lady. Best day of my life.
It's Freedom Fest, Ohio, featuring Justin Moore,
You look like I need a drink right now.
Crowder,
God almighty, I hope you'll find
Rodney Atkins,
makes me wanna take a back road.
Austin French, and more. Friday and Saturday, July 1st and 2nd, Morrow County Fairgrounds in Mount Gilead, Ohio. For tickets and more info, visit freedomfestohio.com.
And where? What do you say? The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Welcome back to Shelby High School, where we are standing with our Burkhart player of the game, Kylie Leibacher, who had 14 points tonight in a big tournament win over the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Just talk to me about how it feels to survive and advance and move deeper into this playoff run.
I mean, it feels great. Last year we won this game, but it was only a 1-point game, so we wanted to come out today and make it to where they had no chance of winning, and we tried to cause a lot of chaos on defense, which I feel like we did a good job of.
You definitely did. The defense was really clicking there, especially in the first half. What was the game plan defensively? I mean, wow, just suffocating.
Yeah, we were trying to switch it up a little bit, but once off ball screens, we were trying to double, which I feel like we did a really good job of that. Our guards, they stood up and they did a good job of that.
And, your second leading scorer, Eisenhower, not able to, start with that injured ankle. How have you been able to step up and kind of fill that position of two scorers here offensively for Margaretta?
Yeah, I mean, we've had other girls for sure step up. Jennifer Patrick, who usually doesn't start for us, has done a good job of filling that role. She gets a ton of rebounds, and she's a really strong girl, so she does a good job filling that role for us.
Alrighty, and then you'll be playing the winner of Upper Sandusky versus Crestview. Just talk to me about how you feel about either of those matchups.
Yeah, I think we're comfortable with either one. I know Coach is staying after today to kind of take a look at them, but either way, we're just going to play like Margaretta basketball, and I think we'll have a good chance either way.
Alrighty, thank you once again. You're Burkhart player of the game. Kylie Leibacher, 14 points and a big win over Colonel Crawford. Thank you very much, and go out and enjoy this one.
Thank you.
We're going to have Garrett Parlett step up into the booth now as we wrap things up. Going to take a real quick look at our final stats before we get prepared for our next contest. Garrett, I'll let you take this one on the final stats.
Yeah, so a big win here for Margaretta, 53-34. 4 field goals for the Eagles, 6 threes, 18 rebounds, 15 fouls, 14 turnovers, 6 of 11 from the free throw line. For the Polar Bears, 14 field goals, 3 threes, 27 rebounds, 8 fouls, 11 turnovers, and went 10 for 13 on the free throw line. Storm, I think a big thing was obviously the rebounding for Margaretta and the defense they played, only really allowing 4 field goals for the Eagles. A lot of it came from the downtown with Weichman.
Definitely second chance opportunities, a big one, but unfortunately I'd love to dive a little bit deeper into this one, Garrett, but the clock already started for the second game, so we're going to have to wrap this one up. Thank you very much to all the people who helped out with this broadcast. Adam Thompson, our director, Garrett Parlett, color commentator for me, and of course Dalen Goff bringing you all those beautiful angles. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for our first of 2 here at Shelby. We're going to be right back in a different stream for Upper Sandusky versus Crestview. So for now, see you in a little bit.